Stop trying to make your prompt perfect. Here is the hard truth. Prompts cannot handle enterprise logic. You've spent weeks tweaking adjectives and adding, think step by step, but your chatbot still hallucinates the moment it hits production. You don't need a better prompt. You need an autonomous agent workflow. We've analyzed hundreds of enterprise deployments across AWS Bedrock and OpenAI. The pattern is always the same. Developers treat LLMs like magic black boxes instead of components in a larger system. To actually scale, you have to move from chat to orchestration. In this video, we are moving beyond the chatbot. I'm going to show you how to architect autonomous agents that can execute tasks, self-correct, and integrate with your existing data stack. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to replace fragile prompts with robust, state-driven workflows that actually survive in a production environment. Let's dive in. Most of you are stuck in the prompting loop. You spend hours tweaking a single word, changing "be concise" to "be extremely brief." You think you're one perfect prompt away from a production-ready feature. But then it hits production, and the golden prompt shatters. Why? Because enterprise logic isn't a conversation, it's a process. Real-world workflows have strict edge cases. They have hard dependencies. They require multi-step verification. Trying to cram all that logic into a single context window is like trying to write a 500-page technical manual on a single sticky note. It's brittle, it's unpredictable, and it's a nightmare to debug. When the LLM fails in the wild, you can't just prompt it to stop failing. You're fighting the architecture, not the model. You're essentially building a fragile wrapper, not a robust system. The industry is moving past the chatbot era. The one-shot mentality is dead. If you're still relying on a single prompt to handle your business logic, you're not building automation. You're building a lottery ticket. And in an enterprise environment, gambling with your data is a fast track to a failed project. Here is the hard truth. Your prompt isn't the problem, your architecture is. Most developers treat LLMs like a magic vending machine. You put in a prompt, you hope for a perfect result. But in production, hope is not a strategy. Enterprise logic is too complex for a single inference call. To fix this, we need to stop building chatbots and start building agentic workflows. An agentic workflow doesn't just predict the next token. It reasons, it iterates, it corrects itself. Think of it like hiring a junior developer. You don't give them a 50-page spec and tell them to build the app in one go. You give them a ticket. They write a draft. They run tests. They find a bug. They fix it. That loop is the secret to enterprise-grade AI. First, let's talk about orchestration. This is the brain of your operation. If you're still using simple chains, you're hitting a ceiling. You need a state machine. This is where LangGraph comes in. Unlike linear chains, LangGraph allows for cycles. Your agent can loop back to a previous step if the output doesn't meet your quality threshold. It turns your AI from a storyteller into a problem solver. But a brain is useless without memory. Not just short-term chat history, but deep, domain-specific knowledge. This is why Pinecone is essential for your stack. By implementing a high-performance vector database, your agent has a long-term memory. It can retrieve the exact piece of documentation it needs in milliseconds, slashing hallucinations and ensuring the agent stays grounded in your company's actual data. Now, where does this actually run? For most of you, the choice is between the raw power of the OpenAI API or the enterprise security of AWS Bedrock. Bedrock is a game changer for architects because it gives you a unified API to swap models, Claude, Llama, Titan, without rewriting your entire orchestration layer. It's the ultimate hedge against model obsolescence. So the blueprint is simple. Use LangGraph to manage the logic loop, Pinecone to handle the memory, and Bedrock or OpenAI to power the reasoning. When you shift from prompting to architecting, you stop fighting the LLM and start leveraging it. You're no longer building a bot that chats. You're building a system that works. Now, you can't build this level of logic in a single prompt. You need a professional orchestration stack. That's why I recommend LangGraph for agentic state management and Pinecone for high-performance vector memory. When you pair these with the scale of AWS Bedrock or the raw power of the OpenAI API, the results shift. We're talking about a drop in hallucinations from 20% down to under 2%. No more "I'm sorry, I can't do that," just autonomous execution. Stop fighting with the chat box. Build a system that actually works. I've dropped the links to my recommended stack, including Pinecone and LangChain, in the description below. Click those, set up your environment, and start building agents that actually scale.